back to the channel. My name is Sam.
I'm Garrett.
And today we're working on my 74 Ranchero again. And boy, I gotta tell you, projects, they sure are a funny thing. They really have a tendency to snowball. At the beginning of this, I said a lot of things. I said this was gonna be my ultimate project, my ultimate ute, my hot rod, my everything that I built. And that's still true. I said that I was going to turn every bolt, and for a while, I really wanted to neglect that. I wanted to just fix the cab, slam it back on, and drive this thing because it seemed like so much fun to do that. But honestly, the more I've taken it apart, the more I've realized that it genuinely needs restored, and it needs to be new and fresh and rebuilt, and it can't just be driven the way it is. Every bushing on this thing is rotted, every seal is leaking. It's an old car. It was built in '74. I keep getting asked, why don't I just put the body on a different chassis, like a newer Tahoe chassis or something like that. I know that's really popular in a lot of other states, but here we can't really get away with that because of a thing that we call DEQ, or emissions testing. Anything newer than 1975 has to be emissions tested here in the city in order to be registered and street legal. And I really want to drive my Frankenstein bastardized creation with an old school V8, burning a ton of hydrocarbons.
And of course we live in city limits.
And I don't want to have to pass DEQ, which is why I have to keep the 1974 frame. But other than that, they don't really give a shit what I do. As long as the frame is from 1974, I can do anything else I want. And at this point, I've decided that what that is this car is going to go 8-lug, 4x4, lifted, and 460. And that's a great excuse to sell all of the things that are on it right now. The Ford 9 is too small for what I want to do. The 351 Cleveland is an awesome engine, but it honestly doesn't make as much power as a 460 anyway, and it's super rare. And a 460 is really common. I can buy one in a junk truck laying around, tow it home, and have it for less than I can sell this thing for. In fact, I have a guy coming to buy it today for $1,200. Just the engine, no trans or anything, because it's super rare. It's going to go into his $40,000 Ford Thunderbird that has a gorgeous paint job. I have another guy who's interested in the rear axle already. I'm probably going to get at least $1,600 out of just the parts that are on the frame right now that I'm not going to use. And that's going to fund me to go buy like a Dana 60 rear end and Dana 44 front end, both 8-lug. And I might just buy a whole Ford truck to tuck it under this frame. And that's going to take a lot of custom work. But honestly, I really wanted to take all the suspension off of this thing and sandblast the frame and powder coat the frame and start from the ground up anyways. And so it just doesn't really make any sense to keep this weird, wonky Ford Ranchero suspension that's not going to run good anyways when I can just build something custom, probably for less money, that's going to operate a lot better. Oh, and by the way, instead of a flatbed, it's going to be a tow truck.
What the fuck?
Because I really need a tow truck. And if I'm going to put tons on something, I might as well put a wrecker bed on this thing. It's got plenty of room for it.
I did not expect that.
You ever seen an off-road wrecker?
Yes, actually.
That's what I'm building. This is going to be an off-road wrecker like a motherfucker. And it's going to be cool at car shows. It'll be cool at the Gambler 500. And I can also put it to work. Tow cars home.
Yourself fucked, we'll get you unstuck.
That's right, man. Big ass 4x4 with a big block, and it's gonna be the ultimate ute.
Wild.
Yeah, man. This is an idea that's been brewing in my head for the last couple of days. I really want to draw some sketches, but I have some pictures of some sick off-road tow rigs that people build, especially like rat rod style, which this thing's already kind of a rust bucket and together anyway, so I'm probably going to do like a little bit of a rat theme to it. But I think if I use a lot of used parts, I'm probably going to use leaf springs front and rear because it'll be simple and cheap and proven, and I'm just going to hack off all the original 4-link crap.
There's a bunch of old K20s out there.
Oh dude, there's like leaf springs and leaf spring axles for 4x4s are plentiful, pretty cheap around here. And that suspension is just really easy to build. You can just knock it together under almost anything. I could try to get all fancy and do like a 3-link or a 4-link both ends, but that's just way more time, effort, money, and complication, whereas like leaf springs are proven. And as far as like being a tow truck, I may actually find a dually axle for this thing.